Welcome back on this Election Day 2024. Polls are now open in Virginia, North Carolina, and New York, among other states. Next hour, polls will open in battleground states, Georgia, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Control of the House of Representatives also up for grabs. Democrats hoping to win back the House after losing control during the 2022 midterm elections. Right now, Republicans have a very slim majority, 220 seats to the Democrats' 212 seats. There are 3 vacancies. Joining me now is Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern, the chairman of the Republican Study Committee and a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I know you were in New York over the weekend campaigning for Congressman Brandon Williams. How important is that race for the GOP right now?
Well, very important. We had the opportunity to see 7 different members over the last 3 days. And what you're hearing from all the New Yorkers is this is more than just about a party or a person. This is about the future of America. And when you look at the crime, it's in their neighborhoods in New York, and you look at the southern border now certainly being on the streets of New York City. And when you get outside of New York City, you hear this from Long Island to upstate to downstate throughout the middle part of New York, is that we have to get Donald J. Trump back into the White House. We have to keep the Republican Party in control of the House and take back the Senate so we can correct what the Democrats have really messed up over the last 4 years. And we know, on Friday night, I was with President Trump in Milwaukee. And I believe with the policies he had just 4 years ago, we can fix all of the things that the Democrats have corrupted over the last 4 years.
What are the counties and states that are most important to watch today?
Well, certainly New York is where it will all start. We have 11 Republicans up there. And when you have a slim majority in the House, as we do now, and after redistricting, there's only about 40 seats across America that are in play to keep the House. And so the Democrats know how important New York is as well. They spent $150 million so far trying to push through the Democrats. We have some really strong candidates there that understand how New York operates, what it's like to be a Republican in New York. But I tell you, the crowds were impressive. The support for Donald Trump in New York, has been incredible, certainly through Pennsylvania, through what we see in Michigan and Wisconsin, and certainly with the president out there at 2 o'clock in the morning in Grand Rapids again this time. The energy he has is incredible. The policy he talks about are spot on. And you contrast that with Kamala Harris, who has no policy. She just says she's going to fix it, yet she's never done anything. She didn't do anything in the Senate to back what she's talking today, and she certainly has done nothing as vice president.
Well, you were also in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Trump rally on Saturday. What do you think about Trump's chances of winning that state? He keeps going into all these Democrat strongholds and really commanding a crowd.
Well, I think what he knows and what we all know is whether you're Democrat or Republican, you care about more money in your pocket. You care about less crime on the streets. You certainly care about keeping men out of your little girls' bathrooms or men playing in women's sports. You know, if you look at the policies, the priorities of the Democrat Party today, it's just that. It's about how can we make men make it okay to play in girls' sports? How can we allow them into the bathrooms? You know, how can we have American citizens pay for transgender surgeries? This is crazy policy. This is why the Democrats have the world on fire right now with wars everywhere, and they have no idea what's going on. And you heard Joe Rogan ask Elon Musk, who's running the country? We know Joe Biden isn't, and she's all over the country. I mean, who's running the country today?
Yeah, it's very disturbing, actually, given the threats that are out there. Cheryl, jump in here.
Well, as far as the balance of power, we're looking at the House, but also, sir, we're looking closely at the Senate. And I want to get your take on this race in Ohio between Bernie Moreno and Sherrod Brown. Sherrod Brown actually writes this morning on FoxNews.com why he should be keeping that seat. But he writes this, and I want to get your thoughts on this, because he goes after President Trump. He says, when presidents in my own party have pushed bad trade deals that would hurt Ohio, send jobs overseas, NAFTA to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, I've stood up, I fought to keep jobs where they belong here in Ohio. I just want to get your take on this, because obviously how Congress operates after January is going to be critical to the funding of our country and also to the direction of our country.
Well, certainly on Ways and Means we have jurisdiction over trade, and that's important, and tax policy, which is certainly going to be really critical this year to keep the 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act in place, to keep us competitive in the world. That's important to keeping jobs in Ohio, as what we're seeing right now with Sherrod Brown. But, again, President Trump's going to win Ohio by 8 to 10 points. And I think Bernie Moreno is going to win that going away as a business person. I mean, this is what's really crazy about the Democrats. You take business people like President Trump, who's created tens of thousands of jobs in his lifetime, and people like Bernie Moreno, who's created tens of thousands of jobs, and then you go say they don't care about creating tens of thousands of jobs. It just doesn't make sense. And that's why the left media wants to promote these ideas that somehow these senators or Vice President Harris, who have never done anything to do what they're saying, they give them a pass. And I believe we're going to win Ohio. I know we're going to win Montana, and we certainly have West Virginia. And there could be some other surprises out there as well on the Senate side.
Well, the Wall Street Journal writes today the third candidate in this election is the economy. Of course, we just got a very weak jobs number. The U.S. added only 12,000 jobs in the month of October, well below expectations. You're a former McDonald's franchisee. What do you make of the economy right now? Give us your assessment of the backdrop and of that 12,000 number.
Well, I've been saying this all year. The success for the Democrat Party is that less jobs are created so that they can say that they can get the interest rates lowered so that the housing market rebound. The problem is all of their policies are wrong. If you listen to Kamala Harris, she wants to rescind all the tax cuts for business. She wants to raise the corporate rate to make us less competitive in the world. I chair the working group on all international tax. I know this stuff intimately, what it does to us if we raise our corporate rate. I also know that if we change the business deduction for small businesses, that makes them less favorable toward corporations. And if we change the marginal rates, where all Americans, regardless of party, are going to be impacted, that's exactly what she wants to do. And that is not going to be what's going to keep this economy rolling. And so I think that's why you're seeing the uncertainty. Job creators are going to wait. I think it's going to be an abysmal economy if she gets elected.
When was the last time we saw a corporate rate of 28%, Congressman? I mean, this is what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz want to do, right? Take it to 28%, which was in Biden's budget. When's the last time we saw that high of a rate for corporate rates?
Well, it's been years ago, and Here's the problem. The problem is when we lowered the rate back in 2017 to 21%, China also lowered their rate. And when you add in the state rates across America, we're at about 25.5 to 26. So we're already at par with our largest competitor in the world. Everybody knows if you tax higher in the United States, that more companies are going to try to relocate to China. And that's exactly what China wants to happen. We cannot allow that to happen. We cannot allow that to happen.
Okay, great assessment there. Congressman, thank you. Good to talk with you. Kevin Hern joining us this morning. We'll be following all of your work. Quick